Hello guys. This is gonna be a little bit different of a format than it was the previous time I uploaded, or actually I should say hello guy, um, person that liked and subscribed um due to my first video. Hopefully this one will be like worthy and subscribe worthy for many others as well. But yeah, thank you for subscribing and liking the video on the previous one. Um, but yeah, it's been 3 weeks. Um, but my Latin class has concluded, so that might tell you a little bit of how I was doing in those 3 weeks if I did not upload anything. I did record something though, that time period, but I did not think that it was, how should I say this? Good to upload, so that might come out later in like a similar format as that. But oh my goodness, as we can see here, my PC was struggling here a little bit to um how should I say load in the things and but yeah, it's actually the first time I played with shaders of this type, and here we're gonna see that I'm gonna pause for a little bit and contemplate whether I should um back out and make a new world to like add on like a knockdown mod like for the trees, like one, if you hit the bottom the rest of the tree goes down. But then after a little bit of thinking, we're gonna see here that I did not decide I I decided not to go with that, since I had already thought that this would be good enough. It's not about having it perfect the first time. Um, it's about just making do with what you have at the moment, you know. Playing within the constraints of what is given to you. Um, yeah, should all try to do as well as we can, with within like what we have. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna touch on this a little later because I'm remembering something that happened here. But yeah, to get back to what I've been doing the past 3 weeks, I have been actually. I just gotta say, I adore these textures that this mod pack adds. This Vanilla Plus mod pack. It's awesome. Yeah, the ores and stuff. Anyways, I have completed my Latin class and I got an A in it. Um, no, it was actually consuming a lot of my thoughts and my time as well, you know. I had not realized how much shoot energy I had been putting into that type of in, into into the class, because I was like, um um like in the first like 2 weeks, like I was not taking it too serious. I was kind of bad, just like goofing off, and I kind of just was like, huh, maybe I should just take this serious, hunker down, and like learn the material. And I think I did pretty well in that. I know like how to translate, just ordinary sentences pretty well with like in terms of like getting the not just the meaning but like a more literal translation because like for me doing the meaning of a translation is a lot easier than like getting a more precise and literal translation of a sentence. Because sometimes the structure of a Latin sentence it's different than the English one. It's I actually forgot. Um, oh, that's hilarious. But yeah. Anyways, I can translate the stuff, but I'm like somewhat of a dictionary warrior. Um, if you give me a word and like it's not like do or like Lex or something like that. I'm not gonna know what it is. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I just know how to do like, I know how to parse verbs. I know how to, I know like how like it looks for a first like root, like the declensions, you know, the endings for those, the the like how to translate the case forms. Um, yeah. Once we get into like the ablatives for like translation, ablative absolute is probably the easier ones. One of the things that you have to do because it's just perfect present participle and just like another ablative of I'm low-key a fraud to be honest. Um, but yeah. Anyways, aside from Latin, I used up so much time on the Latin class, and I'm low-key like not there in terms of like actually understanding it. I didn't know that like learning a language is so hard because whenever I would read Spanish to better to be to just practice it, it was very easy and like I didn't have the struggle of like gosh, my mind is blanking. I guess I must have been talking for a little bit too long on the Latin. Um, I look at there. I could have sworn that's how you like made a blast furnace. Just put cobble around a furnace. Anyways, yeah, whenever I would read Spanish, it like came a lot easier. it came a lot easier for me. I'm not sure why, but it just was. Um, in, in regards to, you know, reading and understanding what's going on. It was even with like harder vocabulary, like I could somewhat guess as to the meaning of the word, but with like Latin, like just because Spanish is a Romance language, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna you're not gonna figure out like by just staring really hard at the Latin, you know, what a certain word means. Um, yeah. But commentating on the gameplay. Um, yeah, I remember seeing this like this tree and thinking like as I was cutting it down, it's like, huh. I remember as a little child, I would always like to use like the nature that was given in the world to like make structures. So like caves and all that other stuff. I was not much of a whether it be like just through my lack of creativity or just whatever. Um, I was never able to create anything like that looked good in my opinion. Um, with like if I would try to build a house, it just came out looking very bland, and I didn't like that much at all because huh, how should I say this? Beauty should be um in every place that it can be. Um, this is why I like going to so many different churches. Um, the art inside of them. It's very, it draws you in to maybe it points you um, somewhere else, like elevates the 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 human to somewhere else. Hmm, if I probably should have wrote this down because my mind's kind of blanking. I guess because I'm looking at the gameplay as I'm recording the audio for this, that I'm having a little bit of trouble um, getting this idea out of my head. But guess to put it simply, if beauty can, I already said that, you know. Anyways, just to just to say it again, um, if you can have something beautiful, you should. You know, it's good for things to be beautiful. We are like, you know, naturally drawn to these to these beautiful things like art, um, the the human body, all that stuff. You know, it's not a mistake that we like these things. We think we find them appealing. You know, it's not to be taken for granted. Um, but yeah, moving on from that, maybe I can talk about that a little bit, like like in another video, and have my thoughts be more, I don't know, uh make more sense to like other people, because, or like just to myself as well, because I am not happy with how I described what I thought. But yeah, as we just saw, there was a bonus chest there. I remember putting on the like bonus chest, like, what's it called again? Like thing, but like I had like completely forgot, because I don't know, I never put a chest, you know, a bonus chest in my world, so I just like went to town on the first tree I saw. Um Actually, this like whole gameplay is gonna be like, at least for the time that I recorded, like these series of of background, like gameplay video, not background, but you know, just like gameplay. Um, you know, I'm doing things that like I typically do not do, and you know, putting a bonus chest is something just like not typical of me. But yeah, I don't know why I'm having a hard time here. Oh my gosh. Typically, like, uh, with another person, I can just talk. Just fuck, uh, I can just jabber on and on about random junk and have no issues. But I don't know, for some reason, like my thoughts are escaping me right now. Even though that happens like with other people, like typically I can just like make up something, you know, to talk about, because I'm like, it's, it's like, I don't know, I'm just grabbing out in my mind for like some ideas to talk about, because I'm like, bored and restless. I don't know. But yeah, this is this this cave. I'm gonna use it for something later on. As we're gonna see here, and it's gonna be very um me mining this coal. It's gonna be very oh shoot. It's gonna be very important for me to do so I don't die, or at least die so early in this playthrough. Um, but yeah, actually, you know, for how bad I am at using a keyboard and mouse to play Minecraft, you know, I was actually pretty proud of how um I dealt with some of the situations I found myself in uh with regards to, like, you know, it's like staying alive whenever mobs were attacking me. Um but yeah, that was nice. Just like, you know, staying alive, if I were to put it plainly. Um, it's nice that, like, you know, I'm not such a bum at this game. I like to play. That was pretty cool. The arrow just like whiffed by me. It's like an action movie. Um, but yeah, after 3 weeks, aside from my Latin course, you know, I had some time with friends. I went to work and, you know, did typical stuff. You know, I read a little bit. I'm actually gonna read later today. Um, at work during my 15. Um, this book, Father and Sons. It's like some Russian literature book. Um, yeah, I think that would be fun to do. You know, read a couple chapters and then like just like talk about it on here. I think that would be good for me to do, since I think it would be helpful to, you know, talk about what I read, because sometimes, like, if I don't talk about things um with people, you know, sometimes I just like forget. You know, it's a lot easier for me to remember whenever I talk about things with other people. So maybe, you know, maybe this isn't like 100% like the same thing as talking with another person, but um, you know, I hadn't realized how like um how uh how should I say this? How hard it is to like talk to people whenever you don't have friends here during the summer. Um, yeah, it's oh golly, it was kind of sucks that, like, you know, um a lot of my friends that I typically talk to are not here in person. Um, because, you know, I'm like a like igloo person. igloo mites, or I don't. What are they called? This is actually. I need to search this up because I think it's pretty rude. Um, igloo not. Igloo people. I Inuits. That's not how you say that. Inuit is now the current term in Alaska and across the Arctic, and Eskimo is fading from use. Eskimo is the one I'm familiar with. The Inuit Circumpolar Council prefers the term Inuit. And I guess I will say Inuit. But yeah. Yeah, I'm like a Inuit, you know, outside of their igloo, you know, just in the cold. You know, I need the warmth of my compatriots to hold me down, and you know. See, that was quite yeah, I was waiting for that to happen. Um that was stupid how like the um the block didn't place there. That kind of frustrated me whenever I first played through this. I didn't record the audio because I wanted it to be two different stop saying speak normally, bruh. I didn't want to. That's hilarious. I should have just stayed there, so like it would have exploded, but like the one block would have saved me. Actually, I don't know if that works though. But yeah, like I'm a Inuit, you know, outside of their igloo. Um, as you can see here, terrible at the game. I don't know what I'm doing. My like I'm like like you can tell like in any Souls game I'm just spamming the roll button. Like Dark Souls 2 is a nightmare for me because I just I can't play it. I'm so bad because like I'm over here just trying to spam roll and it just not I'm not doing it. Yeah, the game's not going for that. Yeah. All right, getting back on topic. I feel like I said that like quite a bit. Um, I'm an Inuit outside of their igloo, and you know, I'm just like so cold that like I need, as I said, the warmth of my brethren, you know, just like their embrace to stay alive. You know, I'm not the most independent person. Struggle a little bit with the more complex things in life. You know, living by myself. Um, that stuff. Like it's not very challenging, but like whenever I have to I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh on myself whenever I say this, cause like I don't know too many people that like live by themselves at my age, and only themselves. And I don't mean like a like roommate situation where like they at least have someone, like some sign of life in their vicinity, you know. No. I don't know, actually. I'm just rambling. I guess I just have wanted to ramble with a friend uh, for a while. And, I mean, that's okay, I think. But yeah, I think that'll conclude this episode of whatever this was, as I leave to go to the restroom. As we see here, we got Laberto or Labyrinthine, or I can't remember how the word is spelled, so I can't pronounce it. But yeah. Alright, that's it, everyone. I'll see you in my next upload. Hopefully, it won't be 3 weeks from now.